Let's get ready to rumble!
All right. What's up, humans? Welcome to The Collective, the purpose-filled podcast driven to elevate your mind through the life-changing stories of some badass people. Coming to you from the skyline of downtown Los Angeles, California, it's your main man, it's your host, always bringing the good vibes, always appreciative and positive, the big, the bad, Jacobo. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Los Angeles. We got the people, we got the stars, we got the champions, and for your enjoyment today, we got an LA native and a hometown hero, CEO and skateboarding phenom, my brother on the board, owner of skating's favorite Karma grip tape, Mr. Dave Martinez. Today's show is about to be electric. Join me as we take a moment with Dave, explore his story and the story of Karma grip tape, and let's take a journey through the tough, isolating times of COVID-19, all the way to developing a culture and a brotherhood driven to mentor the next generations of young skaters in LA and around the world. Friends, once again, thank you for being here. Thank you for being the awesome listeners that you are, and thank you for spreading the good words, good vibes. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to The Collective. Hey, what's going on, David?
Hey, good morning. What's up, Rob?
Good morning, man. I'm stoked, dude, for you to be here. Like, super.
Appreciate the invite.
Yeah, so definitely wanted to touch base again, man, on Karma grip tape. But before we even do that, like, how's your week been going, man? Like, I mean, it's been about a week since we talked last, and like, how's everything going? How's the skating going?
Everything's been going pretty good so far. We started filming our full-length video, so every weekend we've been pretty busy. All the boys been getting down.
Nice, man. I can't wait to see that. That'll be freaking awesome, dude, to be able to see the video, the full works kind of come to fruition, really that manifestation of like what you're trying to bring to life. That's pretty cool, man. And putting in production and everything.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're putting in work.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So, but yeah, man, once again, welcome to the podcast. Just kind of wanted to touch base with you because, just, and the purpose of our podcast, right, is to kind of reach out to business owners and just people in general, dude, because like everybody's got a story, right? And so with that being said, the story of your story and Karma grip tape and everything, that's equally important as anybody's story out there. It doesn't matter if you're Donald Trump, Joe Biden, Dave Martinez, Robert Jacobo, we all got stories, and we're equal within like the universe, dude. We're just all equal beings, man. Like that's the cool thing about it. So, just kind of wanted to say, man, once again, stoked to have met your buddy. It was Andy, right?
Yes, sir. Andy Hernandez. Shout out to Andy.
Dude, shout out to Andy, man. Way to make it happen, dude. Like that just goes to show anybody can rise over anything to be able to be a connector, dude. That's cool.
Yeah, and I told you, I was talking to one of my guys, and I was like, I can't wait for my opportunity to be on a podcast and tell my story. And a week later, you send me a message, and here we are. So big manifestation.
Man, manifestation and that intention that you had, and not only that, but the intention to grow Karma from what it was in that very first, like you were telling me before, the very first instance of the idea, just even being at that skate park with that kid, to where it is now. Like I'm stoked for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So just kind of, I mean, like just kind of talking on the universe and stuff like that, man. I mean, like it kind of blows my mind how it just works, right? Like it's just, you throw it out there and the universe or God or whatever anybody wants to call it, right? Because it's all coming from one singular place,
right,
which is that energy and that field that we all belong to. And what it does is once you throw that intention out there, it really is just kind of a matter of time before those things kind of just unfold. And if you're really paying attention to it, you'll see a lot of it. Like
and
you'll start to see a lot of it actually just unfold right in front of your eyes.
and it's quite mind blowing when you start to see it happen little by little. It's just like it's mind blowing. It's the only thing I can say.
Right. Right, man. It's you know what? It's the medicine that we all need too, and that's the crazy thing about it. I was actually talking with my guy, my life coach, Jamal Javanji, and dude, shout out to that guy. He blew my mind yesterday in one of our sessions, and he was like, you know, you got to live that life of ease, man. And what's really cool is we want to live a life of ease rather than dis-ease, right? And when you look at the breakdown of the word dis-ease, right, it's disease, right? Like, and
Right.
what we see is like disease in its final manifestation, which is, you know, that harm and that wreck on the human body. But like what it really comes down to is when we live that life of dis-ease, we actually move into that zone where it's like, you know, we don't want to be there. But dude, you're changing it up with karma, and you're really kind of just, and it's right there in the name, man, which is like really cool because now you're having an opportunity to really change the lives of not only yourself, but you're recognizing the genius that goes into each and every one of your skaters, each and every one of the people that your skaters influence. Just like Andy Hernandez, just, you know, reaching out to me, and just, he didn't even reach out. We were just at the same party together, and it was just like, hey, like let's get this conversation going.
Yeah, you know, I'm happy that I leave a positive impact on all my guys. You know, wherever they go, you can, you know, they definitely spread it, and obviously you saw it, and you know, I'm very proud of my guys.
Yeah. Yeah, man, and it's really comparative, dude. I was like, you know what, I gotta get what's it called? I not pumped because I'm already pumped, right? But I was like, I just gotta get back into, you know, watching guys like Rob Deerdick. Like I love that guy's show. I love that guy's journey going from Robin Big, right? And seeing all the fun he was having there to Fantasy Factory to ridiculousness and all this stuff that's just going. But when I was watching Fantasy Factory, it was really cool because I really enjoyed the way that he actually like took care of his guys. He takes care of his people, right? And he's just
Yeah,
like,
right,
let me build this team. Don't even worry about the money. Don't worry about all this different stuff. Because he's got the tools, he's got the business managers, and it was funny because like he has the fantasy factory, and in the fantasy factory he has the area where, you know, all his fantasies are coming true, and then he's got corpo where like all his corporate people are and like
right,
taking care of him and all this different stuff. And that's the level you're at, man. Like it's like you have this team now to where you're starting to really drive a lot of influence within the community that you're serving, which is over there in Inglewood, right? And then
right.
kind of like all over the Los Angeles area.
Yeah, we've been spreading. We've, you know, we've done like a little tour. We've went from, we touched bases on almost all the big skate parks in LA, from Orange County all the way to San Diego, the IE. We've spread out pretty far, and we just want to spread the karma message. You know, what comes around goes around. Obviously, we all know that, but you know, we want to hype the next generation of skater, and you know, show them that skateboarding is another outlet. You know, there's baseball, there's soccer, there's basketball, but you know, there's also skateboarding. You know, and you know, a lot of kids are making it out with skateboarding. You know, we just want to spread the message, and through skateboarding, you know, you encounter a lot of brotherhood, and it's just a really good thing. And I just want everyone to know about skateboarding.
Right. And like you were telling me in our conversation before, you know, you really appreciate the fact that, like you were saying, there's baseball, there's basketball, there's football, there's soccer, there's all kinds. I mean, I'm sitting next to a pool table right now, and I'm like, dude, there's guys that make money off a pool and playing poker all day. But like, you're looking to bring the business side of it to the skate park, but not necessarily just for the soul of doing business, but letting kids realize and inspiring the youth of the skating America, right, and skating all over the place. But like, you're letting them know, hey, there's a business here too. It's a joyful business at that.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I would say the one thing I learned the most about skateboarding is that it breeds entrepreneurs. They're just everywhere, and you know, if you open your eyes and you really soak it in, you know, and you can also be an entrepreneur. You know.
Right. Because I mean, and then that's the cool thing too, because like and that's the thing. When you look at like baseball, and I'm not gonna like talk down on baseball necessarily. I love the sport. I played it since I was 4 years old, but like there's a set way of doing things, right? get up to the batter's box, you're getting the pitch, you're swinging the bat, you're hitting the ball, putting it into play. The guy's going to throw the ball, get you out. There's a set form of rules that a majority of players are playing by. Occasionally, you'll have that guy that breaks out and is like doing all kinds of different stuff. Like, I remember I used to watch guys like Yasiel Puig from the Dodgers and stuff.
Yeah.
And that dude was a beast. And then you're sitting there and you're watching him, and he's like playing like you've never seen anybody play before. But that's one guy out of 30 teams, that's doing it big, doing it different. Another guy in baseball, Bryce Harper, doing it big, doing it different, right? And even his journey. I mean, I believe he actually didn't even finish high school. He actually just got his GED, went to a JUCO, then went up from there. But in skateboarding, you have entrepreneurs in every single rider. That's the cool thing about it, because you guys have tricks. Like, there was a time when no one ever thought that you can literally do a kickflip, right? Like, I mean,
Right.
like, you went from an ollie to a kickflip to all these different tricks. And there's no set standard rule or procedure on what type of tricks you can do. It's really left up to the imagination.
Yeah, and I would say skateboarding is all about individuality.
Dude, that's huge right there. Individuality, especially. And the cool thing about karma too is like, it's that individuality, yet brotherhood is what it seems like, right?
Right. So as individual, and we all have our own style and characteristics and stuff, we all come together as one at the end.
Dude, that's huge, man. That's huge. So real quick, let's dive a little bit deeper, right, into kind of like the beginning, right, of karma, and just kind of like, just let's take a look at the why, man. Like, what was it behind karma, right? And I understand the story that you had told me before, and we'll definitely jump into that. But what was it even like? What was it that you had been thinking of for a little bit of time before karma was even a realization? Because I know that it like kind of came out of nowhere that day when you were at the skate park and saw the kid break his board. But like, was there any feelings or anything like that before then that just kind of like helped that manifestation to come forward?
You know what? For a while, I had been dibbling and dabbling and trying to start my own clothing company. And you know what? It's a real competitive thing. There's hundreds and thousands of people trying to do clothing. So didn't really take off for me. Had a little traction, not too much. But, I remember one day being at the skate park. And, as I got older, I finally was able to buy all the skateboarding stuff I wanted. So I just had tons of it. And one day I was at the park, and some kid broke his skateboard, and he was just bummed out because he was just like, my parents are not going to buy me another one. And he was crying. And one of the older guys, he was like, "Don't trip." He went to his car and he pulled out a skateboard, and he was like, "I got you." So he hooked him up, and the kid lit up. He was super happy, but he was still missing grip tape. So in my trunk, I had a whole box of grip tape, 50 sheets. Didn't need that many. So I went to the car and I got him a sheet and I handed it to him, and his face lit up. And we were able to hook up his whole skateboard and got him back on the board. And he was tearing things up. And from there, all the kids, they were all around. So I decided to, one by one, just hook everybody up with a piece of grip. And all the kids went wild. They all lit up. They all wanted to show me their tricks. And, one of the kids asked me, "Why are you doing this? Why are you giving it to us?" And I thought about it for a second. And, it's not about me. It's about you guys. You guys deserve this, and you guys need this more than me. So I think it's more important that we keep you guys on the board, keep tearing things up. And that's pretty much how it started. And as I walked away, parents approached me, and they thanked me, and they asked me if I had a company, if I had a name, an Instagram. And that's when the idea came up, and I thought about it, and I was like, I think I might have just came across something right here. And we branded it, and that's how we came up with Karma Grip Tape.
Dude, that's huge right there, man, because what you just described is so crucial, especially in the American culture. Like, I grew up in a little small town in the desert called Bullhead City, Arizona. So like, the goal was always like, oh man, I got to get out of this town. I got to do this. I got to do that. And, get out and have a college education, go basically by the book. Right. And I've held multiple positions, from workforce development to working at casinos, working in banking. And one of the biggest things in banking that you saw, that anyone sees really, is that they're telling you, you got to save, you got to save, you got to save, you got to make sure, like, and yes, of course, we want to make sure that people are saving their money in case of an emergency situation. But I I think I've come to notice, especially here in the United States. For me, I haven't really. I've only traveled to a couple of countries, but here in the United States, I've noticed, and it's gone from being just a savings type of mentality to kind of like a toxic savings mentality in a way. And what a lot of people don't realize is that, and what you just described, by just kind of like, hey, you need it more than me. And what you did was you allowed that flow of abundance. Like you said, you went to the store, you bought all the grip tape you needed, you had 50 sheets sitting in your trunk. This other guy had an extra skateboard for this kid. He didn't need it as much as the kid. And I'm sure that in the end, it worked out for that guy too, just as much. But what's really cool is you just described like the flow of abundance coming from that unmanifested source in the universe and just like working its way through you. And what I notice a lot in the United States is that a lot of people really hold on with a lot of grip, man, like just like to the things that they are or the things that they have, uh, and not allowing themselves to become detached. And then what ends up happening is they're trying to figure out why are they stuck in this certain position? Like what's going on? Why can't they move forward in their lives? And what it really comes down to is their inability to detach from their material possessions, of which is what you just did for this kid was you detached yourself from the material possessions that you clearly bought all of this stuff with your own money, with your own finances and everything, right? And
Right.
you provided this for this kid, which then allowed that flow of abundance to continue to keep going through you.
Yep. That's exactly what happened. And it it took a while to come across this idea, but it came organically, and I just had to build on it, and we've been doing pretty good so far.
Right. So, kind of like going back to that Rob Deerdick mentality, right? But like we can move it now instead of saying the Rob Deerdick mentality, it's more so like the Karma Grip Tape, Dave Martinez mentality, and taking care of the guys and developing that culture, right? So,
Right.
what would you say as far as I mean, like when it comes down to brotherhood and everything with Karma, what's your guys' like main goal and culture?
Our main goal is just to, when obviously we say to hype up the next generation of skaters. That's one of our main mottos. But we're basically out there just supporting each other, and we all want to see us individually succeed. So, you know, we go out there and we try to hype each other, try to show each other, teach each other, and as much as we're on the skateboard, as behind the scenes, we're super supportive in our personal lives. One of our guys has an issue, school, work, girlfriend, whatever it is, one of our guys can relate to it. And I always make sure that we big brother them, and I make sure all my riders are always mentally, physically, and in good shape, and mental good standing. I want to make sure all my guys are always taken care of.
Right. And that kind of speaks to that universal mind as well, just taking care of your guys and making sure that they always have a place that they can call home in you, right? And just being able to find solace knowing that Dave and Karma are going to be there. And that's the coolest part, man. And I'm really proud to say that I get to know you, right? We haven't got to meet necessarily in person just yet, but I'm definitely interested in coming out to the skate park and seeing you guys in action and seeing the conclusion of this video, dude. Like that
Oh,
sounds awesome.
anytime you're welcome to come out and skate with us. And when the premiere drops, I definitely will send you your tickets.
Oh, for sure, man. I'll be so happy to be there. So, kind of going back to the start of Karma, right?
Hmm.
2020, man, and that speaks huge for that mentorship and that brotherhood. I mean, you hit COVID, and like you were saying before, it's an individual sport, but I mean, you can find that brotherhood in there. But how did you guys help each other out through COVID and everything like that? What are some of the issues that you guys saw pop up with some of your riders and even yourself?
Well, you know what? During COVID, everything shut down, and skateboarding, I would say, just took a boom. And I wouldn't say too many issues. And that's kind of where we just all came together. Just during COVID, we just somehow we started a family, and the brand just took off that way. And we did like a summer tour, and we just traveled around to different skate parks trying to spread the message. That's pretty much what we did during COVID, and yeah, that's how it worked out.
Nice, man. Did you guys run into I mean, like you said, there wasn't really any issues or anything like that, but was there any like emotional challenges for any of your riders or anything like that during that time?
You know what? I wouldn't say too many. Other than just the whole working situation and everything slowed down. But we just everyone had to adapt to it.
That's good. That's good, man. That's good to hear because I mean, a lot of businesses and working from a financial standpoint and everything like that too, like having that financial experience in banking and stuff. I know and understand that when supply goes down or when demand goes down, right, that like businesses do suffer, but to be able to see that yours just popped off because, it really gets to take advantage of that individuality and that uniqueness of each rider and being able to come out and utilize the grounds and utilize the area landscape. That's really cool.
Well, during quarantine, everyone had to stay away from each other. So skateboarding is a it's a one man thing, and that's what I would say. It just kind of boomed and yeah, took off from there.
Dude, that's huge. That's huge, man. So just kind of looking at it, like where do you think karma's going from here?
From here, what I want to grow this into I wouldn't say a corporate company, but just a full functioning brand, and I would love to see it just in more skate shops and you know more people aware of what we're doing here in the community. We do a lot of volunteer work, and we like to go out to different skate parks, and we offer free skate lessons, and we go out to different community centers as well as middle schools, and I just want to get every kid on a board, and it's just a wonderful thing. I want them to find themselves, and it's just a new thing.
Right. And that's the cool thing, man, is that and for me personally, I like to, I read books about, ego and things of that sort. It really seems like you kind of set your ego to the side, man, and just allowed the world to just work through you. Kind of like, I mean, you're just like a battery, man, just holding all that energy and then just passing it around. Like you said, you want to get every kid on a board. That's inspirational, man, because a lot of people nowadays, they're looking at how do I make a quick buck or how do I make rent, and that consumption is really, it's really like self-driven. And
Yeah,
so
I kind of feel like when you focus on the money, it kind of runs away from you. So you got to focus on why you're really doing it, and that's where it really pops off from there, and everything else will come later.
right. Yeah, man, because I mean, you concentrate on the money, especially like when you tell the universe, "Yo, I need money or I want money." It's going to look at you and be like, "Well, I'm going to deliver the exact same status that you're in because you want money." Like you're just in that status of want, rather than in that status of have. And a lot of people, and myself included, man, like just like when I was younger, I would look at things, and even before just kind of becoming a little bit more enlightened. Now, I'm not saying that I'm like a guru or Mahatma Gandhi or anything like that, but like, I mean, I look at it a lot differently now. I don't look at it as like, hey, man, I got to have the almighty dollar in my pocket at all times or anything. But rather, I'm like, hey, it's about relationships.
Yeah, it's about what you build around you, the family, the community. It's about what you build around you.
Right. And so, just kind of like looking at that universal mind aspect, man. Like, what do you think you've learned from like your guys the most, as far as, I mean, because your guys are kind of like currency in a way, but like a different type of currency. But it's just like it's just that karmic energy that you're getting from these guys, man. What would you say that you've learned the most from these guys?
You know what? What I've learned the most from these guys, that these guys are all have different backgrounds, stories, and they're all great people at the end of the day. And what I've learned the most from them is that what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build a platform for these guys to just be seen, and they're like a hidden gem, and I want to be able to bring them to the light and just pretty much get everything that they can from the skateboarding industry, because these guys are they're amazing, dude. They have just gone through tons of obstacles to be where they're at.
Right. I mean, skateboarding in itself, I mean, like you go onto any street here in LA, man, like, and you're gonna see signs, no skateboarding. I mean, I literally just got told the other day, I was over here by the Walt Disney Center, the Walt Disney Music Hall on Grand in downtown. And I was riding my longboard, right? My dog's pulling me on my longboard, and all of a sudden the security guard just pops out, dude. And I'm not grinding or anything like that. I'm not doing tricks or putting myself in weird situations or anything. I'm just literally coasting, man. And this dude just pops out and he's like, "Hey, you can't skateboard here." And I'm just like, dude, it's like I'm just cruising with my dog. I'm just trying to get my dog tired.
Yeah.
So I can only imagine the obstacles that your guys are going through, especially like with a multitude of guys. You got all kinds of different backgrounds, different situations. And at times, I mean, I remember when I was a kid, man, it just seemed like the entire world was kind of against that way of life.
Yeah, skateboarding used to be like looked down on, but we're trying to be like the positive side of skateboarding. So when you think of skateboarding, you could think of the karma crew, that comes in and helps all the kids out and hooks them up with grip tape and just brings light to the situation, makes everything happy.
So, man, tell me a little bit more about your upbringing, man. Because I know that plays a big part in that logo, right? That you were telling me about, the arbor tree.
Oh yeah, so I grew up in the city of Inglewood, over here by the LAX airport, and the little section that I'm from is called Arbor Village, and every street is named after a tree. So we have like this tree. After every street sign has a little arbor tree. So I took that logo and I twisted it up a little bit, but it's an arbor tree, and that's what we use as our Karma logo. And when you look up Arbor Vitae, that's one of the main streets that runs through the center of everything. When you look it up in the dictionary, it's Latin for the giving tree, and that's kind of why I chose it, because we're out here just trying to give back. So when you think of the arbor tree, think of the tree of life, the giving tree.
Right. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And if anything, you ever read that poem? I think there's a poem out there, man, The Giving Tree, right? Where it's like the boy just kind of like takes and takes and takes and takes, and then all of a sudden it's like there's nothing left. But
Yeah.
it seems like there's gonna be a lot left for karma, though.
God willing.
Oh man, I already can see it, man. The universe is definitely smiling upon you guys, dude. So that's really cool. And the good thing is, man, is that you guys over at Karma are really celebrating the differences in others, right? And just kind of like finding that interest in it and finding how it's enjoyable, and just kind of having that like that holy type of relationship, right? That sacred relationship with these guys, which is really cool, man. It's a whole different style of relationship.
Right.
Yeah.
You have to to be part of the crew, you got to be real positive mindset, and no funky energy when you come around the guys.
Right. Yeah, and it seems like even from the logo itself, right? Like the Giving Tree, each one of those guys on your team is willing to kind of give that knowledge, give that mentorship, and really, it's not about that consumption. Each one of your guys is a tree, like, and they're willing to give in order to help that next generation. That's huge.
Yeah, I want to make sure all my guys carry the same energy that I would bring, and no matter where they go, they're genuinely good people, and I make sure that they can carry the karma message no matter where they go.
Would you say it's pretty standard that your guys, I mean, like, they just not only do they carry that message, but they allow that message to shine a little bit more than their egos, their own personal egos?
Yeah, I would say definitely.
That's cool, man, because that's the huge thing. Because what I've noticed, and even myself, man, it's when you finally let go of that ego, what really happens is you allow for the universe, for the world, just kind of to work through you in a more positive way. Because when you have that ego, what you're doing is you're setting up those obstacles and those roadblocks. Because in order to have an ego in the first place, you really got to have like a position, right? You got to have a position to either like or dislike something and try to like either prove it wrong or undercut it in some way. And when you're able to set that to the side, it really is inspirational how much work can get done through you.
Right. You get what you put out. So
yeah, it's huge, man. And that's That right there is such a huge message that a lot of people don't realize. It's it's not even that they don't realize it. I think it's more so that they get confused by it, right? You get what you put in, but like a lot of people are like looking at it and they're like, well, if I put in hard work, hard work all the time, I'm going to get, millions of dollars. But it's like a lot of people don't realize like when you put in a lot of hard work that you don't enjoy, what you're going to get out of it is just more so like work that you don't enjoy.
Right.
Like you just get more of what you're working for, right? It's kind of interesting in that way, but then our egos are sitting there saying, "Oh man, I can't believe like I put in all this hard work and nothing happened." But it's like,
Right.
no, you put in all this hard work, but then all of a sudden, like what you were really asking for was more hard work because you weren't operating from like an area of ease.
Right. You got to figure out why it is that you're asking for what you're asking, or why you're doing what you're doing.
So kind of, I mean, like you developed a business, man, out of something you love. So what is it when you're on the board, dude? I mean, what are you thinking about when you're on the board?
Well, you know what? When I'm on the board, my mindset is free. That's my time to clear my mind. Be me, and all the problems that I have, just kind of, I'm able to dissect them and figure out what it is that I need to do, and that's my time to just really ease my mind and break things down and figure out my next. I use that as my time to just clear my head. It's
And that's
almost like
huge,
yeah, I would say it's almost like meditation for me.
right? And I mean, and that's a big thing too. Meditation. I mean, I take it with you being on the board pretty much every day, right? You're meditating every day. You make it an everyday part of your life. I would say that's some huge advice there too for just people. It's like meditation allows you to go back to that source that you come from, right? That your energy comes from. So it's like by you being on the board every day, it's you're going back to the source to be able to really kind of drive more of that business forward, drive more of that. And it's not even so much about the business. I think that's probably the wrong word for it. I would say it's more so like you're driving that happiness forward.
I mean, it's what makes me happy, and I feel like everyone else should be introduced to it and give it a chance to see if maybe they like it.
I can tell you when I was a kid, man, I used to try to like ride a board and stuff like that, like a regular skateboard. And I just couldn't I could never ollie. And then when I would try, like I remember I tried to ollie and I rolled my ankle and I was like, all right, man, maybe this isn't for me. But then once I hopped on a longboard, man, it was over. I enjoyed it. Now I buy multiple boards a year and like I that's one of my places too where I get to go and just kind of like either ride with my dog or go by myself. And I mean, it gives you that opportunity to just have that meditation there.
Yeah, whether you're jumping off a set of stairs or just cruising down the street. I mean, skateboarding, by itself is just 100% meditating, and just feel some sun. You're outside, with the world, and it's just super cool.
Yeah. So man, it's pretty cool, man, because what you're doing right now, giving back to the community, I got to commend you. And not only that, but just sitting there and being able to talk at a birthday party with somebody that I had never met before, in Andy, right? And just kind of being able to sit here and talk with you, and it's inspiring to just be like, hey, when you really sit down, you listen to people's stories, and you're able to get it out there. It's inspirational, the things that you actually get to know. Like everybody's a book in a way, and this is an opportunity to like get to read that book and hear that story, and you don't have to come to your own conclusion or anything, but the fact that we're just even conversing
Yeah.
and having that energy out there, it's just positive.
Yep.
So I mean, you got next steps. You're going to be, looking at it from like a corporate business type of structure and stuff like that, but yet still want to make sure that you're keeping that not necessarily small town vibe, but like that community vibe, helping those guys out, really paying attention, that one-on-one type of mentorship with those guys. And that's inspirational for you to be able to pass that message along to your riders. And it's like a pyramid, just kind of like you're building that foundation, man. And the cool thing is it's like an upside down pyramid in a way, because like you're at the helm of it, but like you're like willing to hold the support, the foundation for it all, man. Like that's cool.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And yeah, go ahead, Rob.
So just kind of like just looking at it for the future, I gotta say, man, just keep it up for the most part. I really appreciate you guys and what you do. I'm rocking my Karma Grip Tape shirt, right? And it was cool because I got it from Andy. It was funny, man. It was like Andy was reluctant to even like let me keep it. He kept on making jokes, man. It was so funny, and I was pumped, man. It was cool to be able to like just have that experience of being able to talk with him at that birthday party, and
That's awesome.
Like he rides with my fiance's cousin and stuff, and it was cool. Like just to be able to see that sense of community in these guys and how proud they were to be able to rep the brand and be able to, dude, we were in the backyard. He had no business whatsoever of having to go out to his car to get the shirt or anything like. He went out of his way to go do that, dude. And just to be able to push forward the brand and really say, hey, you know what? We're about a brotherhood. We're about a brotherhood. We're about that mentorship type of life. We're about riding and just kind of like being there for each other. That spoke volumes to be able, I mean, like I did recruiting for years, and you're always looking for that referral. And for Andy to give that type of referral is huge, to be able to see the inspiration that you have. Shout out to Andy, man, because the inspiration that you put into him, I can only imagine that same inspiration going into all your riders, dude. What you're going to accomplish is going to be huge.
Hey, once you come out to come skate with us, you'll definitely feel the vibe, and you'll definitely we're all talking about.
Oh, definitely. I'm gonna be getting out there for sure, man. So, like, let's bring it home, man. What would you say would be your biggest message? And take all the time you need, man, because this is your platform too. I want to make sure that we're getting your word, your story out there for all these guys, man. But what would you say to that next generation? You know, that you want to be immortalized right here on the podcast, dude.
You know, what I would say is it's very important for us to give out that helping hand no matter what it is in life. It could be skateboarding, and sports, career, schooling, no matter what it is. Just make sure that you give out the next person a helping hand. And if we all continue to do that, we would be a better society, a better community, a better world. So no matter what you do, just make sure you give that next person a helping hand.
That's huge, man. That's huge, because that helping hand is going to be able to bring those people up, bring the collective mentality and the collective spirit of the world up. And I mean, that's where Karma is looking to go, man, is up. So, you know, I just want to say thank you again for joining me on this call, joining me on the podcast, and really kind of like bringing Karma into the light a little bit more here with me. And I just want to continue to wish you the best. Because I know with just the inspiration that I saw from Andy, once again, last shout out for Andy there, but you know, just the inspiration that I saw in that one individual, man, to see you be able to do that with multiple guys and people out there, like that's going to be huge. So thank you again.
Thank you. I appreciate having me on the show. And, you know, everyone out there, look out for Karma Grip Tape. We'll be in your local skate shop. You know, make sure you check us out.
Yeah, man. Hey, really quick, so people know where to check you guys out. What's your guys' Instagram, man? Or what's the social media for you guys?
Yeah, for social media, it's at Karma Grip Co. on Instagram. You can check us out. And then at YouTube, it's also Karma Grip Co. So check us out on YouTube, the gram. Hit the link, you know, order a t-shirt and grip tape, you know, help support the brand.
All right, brother. Well, you guys heard it. Karma Grip Co., both on YouTube and Instagram. I'm stoked for it. So I hope all of you guys enjoyed our show. Once again, badass Dave Martinez here is the CEO and owner of Karma Grip Tape. I really appreciate you, brother. And I can't wait to see more. And I'll be looking out for those tickets to the premiere.
All right. Thanks, Rob. I appreciate it, man. We'll see all you guys soon.
All right, dude. I'll talk to you later. Take care.
Have a good one.